Hi, everyone. This is Jeff Clark at the Pay Dirt Podcast here with Peter Krauth. And we want to talk to you today about the Metals Investor Forum. And our dog Felix here is very excited to go too. He's got his little mohawk all ready to go. So uh, I don't think he'll be joining us, but whoop, there he goes. He's excited too. So we hope you are. Peter, hi. Thanks for joining me on this video.
Yeah, Jeff, this is always a lot of fun. And like you mentioned, we want to talk a little bit about the upcoming Metals Investor Forum taking place in Vancouver, September 20th and 21st. As always, I certainly am excited to be there. September is a beautiful time of year in Vancouver. Busy
That's
time.
right.
Apparently, it's cruise season. So a busy city. And I'm going to let you talk a little bit about what you will be telling your viewers and listeners at the Metals.
Yeah, I have to say this is one of my very favorite conferences. It really is because, first of all, the companies that are there are invite only. They can't just pay a fee and show up. They have to be invited by a newsletter writer. So I have companies I've invited, and the other newsletter writers have invited others, and that's it. There's no other companies. So there's a lot of pre-screening, you could say, that goes on there. It's also smaller, a little more intimate. So it gives you time to actually rub elbows and talk to the CEOs and the geologists that are there. A lot of them are coming back from their summer work programs now, so should be a lot of good information. And it's, of course, in beautiful Vancouver. So it's on a Friday and a Saturday. I'll be speaking on Friday. And Peter, tell us, I think you speak on Saturday, but tell us what you're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to, I guess, first do a bit of a macro overview of where we are globally with economies, inflation, interest rates, and so on. You maybe saw this recently, Jeff, but there was a an interesting uh, image that circulated that did basically that put out what global debt levels were at, and we're at something like $315 trillion of global debt, and it's up 20% since COVID arrived. And really, this is putting central banks in what I call a bit of a no-win situation. If they raise rates, they do two things. They obviously slow the economy down. To some extent, they want to do that. But they're also making it more expensive for governments to pay back these ever ballooning debts. Um,
Right.
that actually is what I would call a win-win for precious metals because um, if they raise rates, it's because they want to slow things down. And if things slow, and it's because also there's so much inflation, and inflation is a win situation for precious metals. But if because they have to also cut rates, that allows real rates to shrink and makes precious metals more attractive. So either way, precious metals will come out of this doing very well. And so that's sort of the first part of my talk. The second part, I'm going to go into, I guess, what I see as the what are becoming the more dominant areas for the silver market, and I believe China is by far the dominant, especially on the industrial side, the dominant factor. But India, I think, is perhaps underrated and underestimated in terms of how it's quickly becoming a more dominant part of the silver industry. Now, they've been precious metals aficionados forever. And gold having gotten so expensive, they're really turning their attention to silver a lot on the investment side. But really, even when it comes to energy, the International Energy Agency said that over the next 30 years, India will become the fastest growing energy consumer of any market anywhere. So, and they're really, really turning towards renewable energy. They're actually building one of the world's largest the world's largest renewable energy parks. It's going to be like 5 times the size of Paris. Most of that's going to be solar. And so we've seen silver imports to India have just absolutely exploded, and they're nowhere near the amount of solar panel production that China is at, but they're really growing that out very quickly. And I think that we really need to keep a close eye on what's happening with India, as I say, because they're becoming more important in the silver industry. And as a recession hits, I think it's a matter of when, not if. People turn to precious metals, and as I say, Indians are so in tune with precious metals. Gold being expensive, they will, I believe, be buying a lot of silver once again. They've actually just cut import duties dramatically, and so that's really making silver a lot more attractive. So that, is in a nutshell what I'm going to be talking about at the Metals Investor Forum. Tell us about.
That sounds Yeah, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to that, seeing that data, because what I really like in the last recession, in COVID, gold bounced 40%, but silver bounced 140%. So there's going to be a lot of fun ahead for silver, I think, Peter. So
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. Tell us about your talk, Jeff, and what do you plan to dig into?
the title of my talk is Our Mining Stocks, the Trade of the Decade. It's going to be a bold thing I'm going to go through, but basically I have a lot of data and charts and history to show why I think mining stocks actually could be the trade of the decade. I also have 4 companies there. I invited more, but some other newsletter writers grabbed them before me. So there'll be a lot of companies there that a lot of us newsletter writers like. One is Banyan Gold, 7.1 million ounce gold resource up in the Yukon getting developed. The CEO will be there to talk to us. Emperor Metals, one of my favorite stocks. They will be there to tell us the latest what's going on there. And that stock's actually at a good value right now. It's come back down to where we recommended it. Outcrop Silver, both Peter and I like this company a lot. I've been to the projects in Colombia. You can read that on our site. I think this could be a silver powerhouse basically in the future. And then Sky Harbor Resources, a uranium company up in near the Athabasca, exploring, and they have it's not a large resource, but it's very high grade. So this could be very attractive once it's proved up and developed to a bigger company. So that's what we'll all be talking about. Hey, I hope you'll join us. It's going to be fun. I really enjoyed. If you do come, please introduce yourself to myself and Peter, our admin person. Jen will be there as well. You can meet her. So we hope you come. Remember, it's free. So we hope to see you at the Metals Investor Forum, September 20th and 21st in beautiful Vancouver. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.